and welcome to Chalk Talk. I'm Melody Bonnet. We'd like to begin our show with special congratulations to Jim Roth, Physical Education Specialist at Lyon Elementary, who was one of the recipients of the first annual School Health Award sponsored by Bessie. His new health program, entitled Around the Clock PE, is an exercise program which includes increasing children's physical activity during the school day and at home by encouraging more walking, running, healthy play, and exercise activity.
The Around the Clock program was something that I got interested in about 7 or 8 years ago when we were looking for ways to involve the classroom teacher in the specialist and joint programs to help kids in physical education.
The important thing in kindergarten and all the grades is that we really educate the whole body and teach them good lifestyle habits, not only how to read and write, but to how to live a better life and a healthy life.
Physical education is a joint project between a physical education specialist like myself and the classroom teacher. The idea of having them work together at a school has a lot of ramifications that could be good across the board.
PE is not the only time that we exercise. That you exercise when you're out on the playground, you exercise when you're at home playing soccer. That exercise is more than just physical education, that it's pretty much a big part of your life all the time and you just don't realize it.
I like to go outside because I get extra time to walk and talk with my teacher.
So the teacher has a pivotal role. We know that teachers are very, very important in the attitudes they put into a kid as a model. And that's important. And the teachers are talking about physical activity, and they're talking about and they're taking an interest in what the child does over the weekend. That has a dramatic effect on how the kid feels about physical activity and what they do.
It's important to run around and play because it gives you exercise, and exercise gives you more energy.
I didn't always remember to take the children outside for extra PE or physical education outside of our regular programs. So this every day reminds me, the children remind me, they come to me and say, we haven't walked yet today, so we make sure that we go out and get some real good exercise.
When I go around the track, it's fun. And at home, sometimes I make a track too.
I've put a lot of research into the area and designed the Around the Clock program as a way of actively involving the teacher and the specialist in increasing kids' physical activity levels. Also, the teachers, the classroom teachers with training from the specialists, take the children out once a day for 10 minutes during the week. During that 10 minutes, the kids are expected to move continuously at their own pace. They can walk or run. And similar to recess, they get credit themselves for either being a hound, mostly running.
I like to run around outside and play.
A hunter, mostly walking.
I like when I go outside and go around the track.
Or hare, run some, walk some.
It's important to exercise to get your bones healthy, strong.
The teachers bring me their minutes for their recess time, their run time, and their weekend time. I take those minutes, I convert it into hours, and then we have some clocks by grade level, and I put how many hours each grade level, each teacher is doing, and then I add those up to the hours that each grade level has done. And then we have a big clock to show the school-wide hours.
These are life skills that the children need to have from the minute they enter school, actually even before school, of course, but all through their lives.
Because it helps your bones, and it helps you get healthy.
That it will be a life skill that they learn, that exercise is something that you can implement into your daily life, and that it is a fun thing, and it's something you can do with a friend.
I like to play outside with my friends, and when I go inside, I can do my work much better.
And the main thing we try to affect is the attitude towards physical activity, because physical activity is going to change as a child's life goes on, but the concept of the importance of physical activity, how enjoyable it is, and how to go about doing it, that's something they can take with them forever, for the rest of their life.
Science Olympiad is an organization devoted to increasing student interest in science. And at Madisonville Junior High School, Science Olympiad students are indeed learning science in a creative and fun way. As part of the Science Olympiad competition, the students made water bottle rockets. Join us now as we watch the students test their creations. Students from Madisonville Junior High School put their engineering skills to the test by launching rockets that they built from plastic 2-liter bottles. Their mission? To design a rocket that could be launched and stay in the air as long as possible, regardless of how successful the landing would be. The students are all members of a club called Science Olympiad. Evelyn McCullough and Marcy Ario are the club sponsors.
The Science Olympiad is an organization that is open to 6th, 7th, and 8th grade students that are interested in science, and it's an enrichment program to further their interest in science. This has been a very successful program in our school. Ms. McCullough started it 3 years ago. Her first group was only maybe 15 students, and now it has grown to almost 50. So it is very successful. The kids love it, and it's just getting bigger.
For some students, the experiment had its ups and downs. Often last-minute design changes were taking place.
Well, on the edges, the tape was hanging off, so I'm going to try to, like that and stuff, and it was sticking to the cap, so I'm going to try to make the tape stay down better. Maybe I hope it'll work.
While the students tried to figure out how to make that which goes up not come down so quickly, they were actually learning something more important.
All right, guys, what's wrong with that one?
It's really good reinforcement for the scientific method, where the children are presented with a problem. They have to hypothesize what they think the solution would be to solving this problem that they're presented, and then they have to do trial and error experimentation in order to see which of their hypotheses are the best.
The theories that the students came up with were as plentiful as they were different.
Maybe a couple of tail fins, or maybe no tail fins could work. And not too much weight. It's got to be a perfect size weight.
They recorded how long it stays in the air, so the more parachutes you have, the longer it'll float up.
But his should have won. If it did, the reason I think it didn't deploy is because it was too tight. The cat nose cone was a little too tight on it.
The Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, or JROTC, has as its goal to instill in high school students the values of citizenship, service to the United States, personal responsibility, and a sense of accomplishment. As you will see in the following segment, the Slidell High School Navy JROTC is accomplishing just that. Let's listen as these cadets share with us the benefits of belonging to such an organization.
What I like about ROTC is it's like a community within a community.
It teaches you self-discipline.
You want to be a part of this team, you want to contribute, you want to be dedicated.
You get to be a team together and you learn how to work with people.
It's the greatest thing that ever happened to me in my high school career.
It's a program to promote patriotism, make students into informed citizens, give them an idea of the things that go into making national security decisions.
I have self-discipline and I have self-confidence, and that those two traits are, it's sought after by employers.
Being able to discipline yourself and preparing for anything in life.
It really teaches you how to be a young adult. You know, it really prepares you for the outside world because you have to work with other kids. It's fun because like you get to go to the drill competitions. It's like you get to learn like self-respect and how things were in the past with our Navy and how it started. And it's like you get to do all this and you have fun with your friends at competitions.
Practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect.
It's a whole lot of work. We practice almost every day after school for at least an hour.
Well, first you have to teach them the basic marching, you know, flanks and columns, such things like that. For every count, there's a different movement, different hand movement, different foot movement.
We come up with different spins and things with the rifle, and we put them together in a routine, a smooth flowing routine.
You add more hand movements and more, like you have to memorize steps and how many steps you have to take before you perform a certain routine.
But with that same military precision and just the whole overall military form of marching with a little jazz twist.
Ready. The camaraderie that we have here and the friendships, I wouldn't trade it for anything else.
Go! It's definitely put me on the track.
It just teaches me how I'm going to have to work in the career force, and it also helps you in school activities.
It's really rewarding, especially to watch, the freshman students progress as they go from freshmen to sophomore, juniors, and seniors.
It is just such an awesome experience. It's really something to be part of.
Northshore High School agri-science teachers Paul Payne and Paul Terrio are keeping their students on the cutting edge of technology. They have transformed their agriculture classes into state-of-the-art aquaculture, hydroponics, and aquaponics labs, creating a miniature ecosystem that gives their students not only hands-on learning, but a look at the future possibilities in the world of agri-science.
Most of this got started with the space program and with NASA years ago, and trying to, if we ever colonize the moon or another planet, is a way to feed the astronauts at the time. Trying to keep up with the times, with the new testing and everything else with the students. Okay, you can see it's bouncing back and forth between 317 and 320. And the old plows and cows agriculture didn't keep up with everything totally. 317 to 320 parts per million in that water supply that we have dissolved solids. We've had to get into the new science realms of it. It is agri-science now. Our curriculum is agri-science, and all the benchmarks are from the science curriculum. We've gone into 3 different fields, basically. We've gone into aquaculture, which is the raising of fish and other animals in water. We've gone into hydroponics, which is raising plants without soil in a nutrient solution. And then our biggest one is aquaponics, where we're raising the fish and the plants together. We've got the big vats here, which hold 1,200 gallons each, and in those we're raising hybrid brim, and it's in an enclosed system. The water circulates in there, and it flushes the water at least twice an hour. The entire tanks are changed out, and it runs through a biological filter where you have all the bacteria and everything that are actually disposing of the waste of the fish.
Students are about to get started working on is taking some water quality tests. They'll be checking for the pH of the water and also checking for the levels of ammonia, nitrites, and nitrates that are found in the water. And they'll also be catching some fish, checking on monitoring growth rates so that we know that we have our feeding levels established at the correct rate.
In the hydroponics over there, we've got an A-frame system. It basically spray a nutrient film onto the roots of the plants, and they grow without soil. They're grown in what's called rock wool, which is it's a rock that's heated up and spun like cotton candy. But it will hold water and hold air at the same time. It'll hold the roots of the plant. That's the rock. There's 2 types of lighting you have to have. is metal halide and sodium lighting, and we have to measure the light intensity in here. We have light meters that we measure the intensity with. So right now we're using it for cuttings. We're taking cuttings, basically plants in the greenhouse that we've got to cut back a little bit. We just take the cuttings and we start new ones. But you can do everything from just starting cuttings to growing flowers to producing any plants you want. They do not have to have soil. On the big aquaponic tank over there, we've got the koi in it, and we're raising plants in the water at one end and then in gravel in the waste at the other end. And feed the fish, and you're feeding the plants and everything else.
A major concern with the plants is making sure that they stay insect-free, because we're extremely limited on any chemicals that we can use on the plants. Because if you put the chemicals on the plants, it gets in the water, and that's directly toxic to the fish, just as it is in the environment. You know, it's a miniature ecosystem.
Becoming worldwide, it's going to be a way, not in the United States so much yet, but worldwide, feeding the hungry a way to do it on a small scale, because they're able to grow lettuce and other plants in the waste of the fish, eat the plants, and take the waste from the plants that they don't eat and feed back to the fish. It's all a lot of the science that the kids are learning from it, and they're hands-on project, and yeah, when they get it that way, I think a lot of times that's the best way to give it to a child.
It's generating a lot of interest not only with our own students, but I see it as a potential recruiting mechanism to get new students in.
And it's really neat. It's really neat.
Culinary arts students at Mandeville High and Covington High had the unique opportunity to participate in an ice carving demonstration presented by Ohio chef and culinary arts teacher Michael Edwards. Thanks to the planning of Carolyn Senack, Mandeville High culinary arts teacher, these students got to see a professional chef in action, along with another avenue in which their culinary studies could take them.
What I came down for is just an opportunity. I'm on spring break right now, and last year I've done some in-service with the teachers down in Louisiana, and I started discussing ice carving and what we do and how we do. I do host competitions and my students compete, and actually doing an amateur level myself. And what they said, why don't you come down and demonstrate some ice sculptures.
This is something that our students just don't get to see very often, mainly because of the climate. He does a lot of competitions with the ice carving up in Ohio where he lives, and his students actually get a chance to try this at school.
What I've done is I've brought two different saws. One is strictly for going in the ice, it's a Makita. The other one's a steel, which takes off more ice. I have a die grinder that has a special tool that will shape the ice and smooth it out a little bit. Then I also have some hand chisels. As you see, the students are working with those now, like the 6-prong, a flat chisel. Also, I want to cover some of the safety issues with the students. Like I am working in water, so I have a grounded outlet there. The extension cords, I went through all my equipment and did a safety check to make sure the chains were on. They were on properly. All my equipment was actually in properly working order. The application with this is, like I told the students before, I'm a jack of all trades. I can do ice sculptures. I can do anything front of the house, back house. This just gives them another tool to market themselves as chefs.
Bringing people in from the outside, it's a great opportunity for the students. I can teach it in the classroom. I can teach it from the textbook. I can go over all the materials, but for some reason when people come from the outside, it somehow links it from the outside that the students are able to see how they're applying what we're learning in the classroom in their real life, and so it just creates so much more interest for the students.
It really inspires the students to actually do something different and try some things new. He's also a chef, which is awesome because that's the career that I want to pursue when I'm older, and it also inspires me to break out of like just the original things that you're doing and try to do other designs in your work, to experience other things and use different types of media to actually express yourself.
This fits in with our curriculum because our students actually, the students that are in the Pro Start program, they take Pro Start 1 as a junior, Pro Start 2 as a senior. They get a nationally, they get a test from the National Restaurant Association, a proficiency test. If they pass it at the end of year 1 and they pass it at the end of year 2 with a 70% or better, and they get in their 400 hours of paid internship, these students in this program actually earn a certificate from the National Restaurant Association.
Abney Elementary School 5th graders had the opportunity to put concepts learned in the classroom to work in a real-life simulation thanks to a partnership between the Learning Exchange and Junior Achievement. The students completed an 8-week curriculum that included everything from basic concepts in government, economics, and math to practical aspects of resume writing, banking, and interview skills. The students then attended Exchange City, a special city built for kids and run by kids, where they put to practice what they learned in the classroom in real-life roles as citizens of their very own mini-town.
Program that's been developed for 5th and 6th grade students all over the United States to really have a hands-on experience of what it does take to run a city and to be in the real world.
We prepare the students to learn about economics, basic economics, from basic to a larger concept of economics in running a city.
Students come here after preparing in the classroom almost 30 hours where they'll interview for jobs, they'll elect a mayor and a judge, they'll compete for various positions in the city.
They're going to learn about a checkbook, how to run a checkbook, because everyone will receive a check when they get to Exchange City, and they have to go through all the steps by themselves. We also prepared them with resumes and on interviews, because they will be running the whole aspect of the city, so they need to be in jobs that they're comfortable with and that they have talent for. So our students got to choose 3 jobs that they would be most interested in, and they have to interview 3 times. They've prepared a resume and they've prepared a job application.
Every student, every citizen will have a job at Exchange City, whether they are the bank president or a news reporter, or they could be somebody that helps in the shop making sure that everybody has the supplies that they need.
We've invited people from our community to come in, and they're going to be set up at tables today for the 14 positions that we have at Exchange City, and they're going to be people interviewing our students.
The students will know their jobs a week in advance and be, rehearsing and going over their duties and skills with their business partners.
They're ready to go. They're very nervous, but they're ready to go.
And after 30 hours of preparatory work, they arrive by bus, and they'll spend about 5.5 hours here in Exchange City. So by coming here to Exchange City, they can experiment in having a job, and they also learn and connect what is needed in the job place to what they're learning in the classroom.
The first thing that they're going to do when they get to Exchange City is each business is going to go to the bank, apply for their loan, come back, buy the supplies and the goods they need for the day. Also, there will be adults and teachers and parent volunteers on hand to help these students in the shops with anything that they need. For example, there is the nature shop, and these students will have to produce goods. We'll have to go and buy certain goods, come back, and as a team, as a business, create products for citizens of Exchange City to buy. And of course, the citizens are the students.
So they're using their math skills, they're using their language skills because they're working as teams. There's a shop owner, they're motivating their workers to be productive.
We always talk about real-life experiences, and unless a child has a real-life experience with money, with economy, with working together as a group, they're not going to know what it's like until they actually get out in the world. This really brings it home to them.
I feel the kids are getting a reality check. They're actually getting that hands-on real life, and they're still students.
So it's a great linkage of business to education, and after all, really what we're trying to do with our children is educate them for their future life.
Channel 13 is currently featuring 2 special programs. The Slidell Curriculum Center was recently renamed in honor of lifelong educator Robert C. Brooks, Jr., a community leader and role model for many in the St. Tammany Parish public school system. Congressman David Vitter once again gathered together representatives of the armed forces for his annual Military Academy Day. Prospective candidates and their families had the opportunity to visit with Academy representatives and speak with Congressman Vitter and his staff regarding the nomination process. Air times for these and all of our shows can be found at the school board website, www.stpsb.org. Follow the link to Education St. Tammany, Channel 13. Thanks for watching our show. Join us now for the sights and sounds at the Fontainebleau High School Pep Rally, honoring the girls soccer team, the state soccer champions for 2003-2004 season.
She set up, right man, shot coming, 1-0 Fontainebleau! And swing is up to the chance! Rosalind Jones getting it under control. She's trying to take a shot. Into the goal! Over Mayhew's head! Rosalind Jones getting it in! Looking to set it up for somebody. Someone comes in and the shot in! And that's her sister, Renee Radlin! Defender falls and she's gonna have a shot. And she leaves it out. Radlin! Radlin gets it! Doing and defending, Fontainebleau Lady Bulldogs, your Division I, Louisiana State champions in girls soccer. Fontainebleau High, since we started, we've had a lot of firsts. You know, the first students to come into the school, first graduating class, first win in any sport. So we've had a lot of firsts. This year, we have another one. Our first state championship. These ladies have worked hard, spent a lot of hours, and it paid off. They're the Louisiana 5A State Championship Girls Soccer Team.
And we knew then that we had the possibility of going all the way to get with Coach Northshore going. Coach Gasway. Brooke Wilson. Archie Gapper. This was Boston Jones. Next, future forward, Jesse Rabbit, goalkeeper, Hannah Kaufman Swag. First team, next, future defender, Miss Emmy Cummins. Future defender, Lauren Clifford. Sarah Johnson. All second team, sophomore forward, Renee Mandeville. Kristen Campbell. Amanda Ross. Senior goalkeeper, Megan Harris. On behalf of Mott's sisters, Valerie Motts. Valerie's the sophomore defender, Carrie Levertov. Alyssa Final. Sophomore midfielder, Renee Raffin. Sophomore midfielder, Emily Gobert. Emily's second year with midfielder, Emily Martin. Freshman forward, Kendall Wrigley. Senior defender, Jessica Schwartz. Freshman defender, Sarah Distance. Freshman midfielder, Macy Jones. Freshman forward,